Hello everybody, welcome back to episode 2 of the Workshop Diaries. The victim today is my Mini, as you will know, a regular to the channel, which is probably a bad thing considering we fix and repair cars. But yeah, we've got my Mini back in, hopefully getting it ready for its MOT. So the first time I took it for its MOT, the test was abandoned because of a coolant leak. I fixed that, which you can watch in a video up here or here. I don't even know where it is anymore. And then I took it back again and it was abandoned again because of an excessive oil leak. So in today's video, I'm going to be fixing that. As with all the Workshop Diary series, I'm not going to be showing you a how-to, especially so with this because it's going to be dark because I'm going to be under the car. But essentially what we're going to be doing is draining the oil, replacing the sump gasket, the sump plug gasket, the oil filter gasket, the oil filter housing gasket, and the crankshaft sensor O-ring. Then we're going to refill the oil and see if she leaks. So without further ado, I'm going to jack the car up. I'm going to take the front bumper off, just so I've got more room to get underneath, and then we're going to start working. If you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with any new uploads that I post. I just want to say I hope everyone has had a nice rest over the Christmas break. And yeah, I look forward to 2022, hopefully getting this bad boy back on the road, potentially getting it tuned this year, and making the most out of that pulley upgrade that we did in one of these videos somewhere over there. But yeah, so sit back, enjoy, and watch me probably get very frustrated at the Mini. So when I got the Mini up here the other day, I just backed it in and left it like this, and I also got a piece of cardboard and placed it underneath just to basically see where the leak was coming from. So I'm going to grab that out now. Okay, so as you can see, looks like we've got two issues. That is oil and that is power steering fluid. Now, I kind of knew about the power steering fluid because the power steering isn't working on the car. The steering is really heavy, and obviously the oil, it does look like it is dripping from somewhere around here. I don't know whether it leaks all the time when it's parked up or not, because it immediately started leaking after I drove it here, but there was no oil sort of driving into here. So it only started leaking when I was stationary. So it is a bit confusing, but we're going to replace the gaskets and see how it goes. Okay, so the front bumper's off, as you can see from the oil stain on the floor, which I still need to clean up. I've changed the oil. The oil looks all okay, really. Nothing to complain about there. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and changed the oil filter and just cleaned all that up and put a new O-ring on it. And then I've put a new sump plug in with a new washer on. I did notice when I was taking the old sump plug out that there was a small leak of oil coming from that area. So maybe it's the sump plug. I'm not too hopeful of that, but there we go. I'm hoping that it's the oil filter O-ring, and obviously I've changed that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the car level again, fill her up with oil, and basically take it for a test drive and see if it leaks. I've cleaned the underside as best as I can. I've wiped up anything that's wet, so I'll be able to see if anything new arises. So if the oil leak is indeed still there, we're going to have to replace the oil filter housing gasket, which is only a very small piece of rubber. I've got it around here somewhere, but it looks extremely awkward to get to. So I want to try and avoid doing that if I can, although if it is the fix, then obviously I'll do it. And then finally, the one that I really want to avoid doing is the sump gasket because it looks like an absolute pain in the backside. So when I got under the car, I had a quick look at what I'd need doing to change the sump gasket. I'd need to take out the aircon condenser. I'd need to take out some bolts from the gearbox, an engine mount. So there's quite a few things that I'd need to remove. So I want to try and avoid doing that if I can. But as I said, the same with the oil filter housing gasket thing. If it's the only solution, then I will do it. So as I said, I'm going to get the car back down level, get the bumper on, fill her up with oil, and get her running and see if she leaks. So I took the Mini for a little test drive, and it's not good news. It's still dripping oil. Now it's clear where it's coming from. It's coming down the when you're looking at it, left-hand side back of the engine, which I think is the oil filter housing gasket thing, that thing, which looks really awkward to change. So that's fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go home, I'm going to do some research because I need to know how to change this and see if that's definitely what this might be. As I said, I've changed the oil filter and the O-ring there. That O-ring was a little bit loose, but it seemed to go in fine. It was quite tough to get in, which I'm assuming is good. The new sump plug's on. There was a little bit of a drift coming from that before. I don't think it's there now. I just need to double check. But yeah, bit gutted that it is still leaking. I was hoping that it would be a nice easy fix and be able to get it through its MOT this week or next. But seems not. So that's a shame. But yeah, it just means we probably need to fit this. But as I said, I'm going to go home. I've been here for 2 or so hours this morning, just working on this and whatever else. So I'm going to go home, just relax, because I can't think straight at the minute. And yeah, do some research on how to fit this. I might come back up tonight or maybe tomorrow and do it. I think it's a job I want to do with Tyler and Owen, just because it's a little bit awkward and it might be easier to have 3 heads rather than 1. Right, Shag, so yeah, I fixed the Mini yesterday. It's still fact, so I've got to fix it again. I'm not leaving that bit in. Oh, do you know where we need to go? The sandwich shop down the road.
Sneezing a minute when you got my cock in your mouth.
Headshot!
What is that for? It's me sneeze.
So, where we left off yesterday, I was annoyed and stressed because I changed a few gaskets and changed the oil and it didn't fix anything. So I went home, had a think and did some research, and basically I figured out I'm going to have to change the gasket behind the oil filter housing. These guys are going to help me, moral support more than anything. So yeah, we're going to crack on and try and get this oil filter housing gasket changed so that the thing stops leaking. And yeah, if that doesn't solve it, Auto Trader. So I'm going to have to remove the audio from this bit because we're listening to some copyrighted music. But if you want to watch along at home, just type in Coming On Strong by Signum into YouTube and have a listen and watch the video at the same time. And yeah, hopefully you might sync it up right. So we managed to get the oil filter off in the housing, the one I replaced yesterday. Managed to get one of the bolts out from the housing so we can replace the gasket. Owen's just trying to get onto one on the top. They're really, really awkward to get to. Basically just managed to knock it loose and then just with the tips of my 2 fingers managed to get it out. So we're just trying to get the others out and then hopefully be able to replace that gasket. Are you looking at the oil filter housing there? Like, is that bolt you're taking out next to the oil filter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right underneath it.
Where the dildo was.
Yeah.
You going?
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Give it some light. So that next bolt is, this is the oil filter housing here, just right underneath it. Just my fingers, I'm trying to get a bit of light. Just where the ratchet is, just going to take it out now. I think Jack's got the last bolt, so pass you back to him when I've got this out. So remember, that's the top one. Underneath your oil filter.
You wouldn't remember that?
Right, I will. Look, wait, look, Jack, come on.
What?
The nuts for the put them. This is going to be record this, right? Yeah. Nuts. And you take parts off.
Yeah, I know. I was going to put them back on the thing.
Keep them together.
I was going to put them back on the thing.
Put them to the side. You don't lose anything.
I was going to put them back on the thing.
Alright, why are you filming? Right, so we've got the old gasket out. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but it's really like brittle. It felt like it was going to snap while I was taking it out. It was stuck in the engine block. It didn't come out with the filter housing.
On the engine block.
So,
in the engine block.
on the engine block.
If it's stuck in, then that's bad.
Problems.
What was it? We took the filter housing off, and we looked at it and was like...
I took the filter housing off, looked at it, I was like, that's what's leaking. There's no bloody gasket. It was in the engine block, but this one is a lot more like flexible compared to this. They look the same, so yeah, happy days. Let's get it in.
Alright, so we have just finished the oil filter housing. I'll show you that now. Just there. That's all tied up. All the gaskets all okay and everything. Jack now is just cleaning all the underside of the engine from the oil leak. And then we're going to run it up and see if we can find out if there's any more oil leaks. If not, she's good to go.
So we think we found the issue. We think it was the timing chain tensioner after all that. So we took it out, cleaned it up and put it back on. Might need a new copper washer, but for now we put it back in. Not seen any more leaks, but we're running it now just to test it. So hopefully, all's well. Okay, so as I mentioned in the end of the last clip, we found the issue on the Mini for the leak. It was the timing chain tensioner bolt wasn't in properly, which, you know, I'm gonna put my hands up, that's my fault. I have changed that tensioner, obviously didn't do the bolt up. If you've ever changed it on these cars, you'll know how awkward it is to get to. Previously, I didn't think it was possible to get a socket on it, but I figured out that you can do it with a sort of medium-sized extension and a deep reach 19mm socket. If you push the oil cooler hoses down and out of the way, you can get a socket onto it. So I managed to get that tight, and thank God it's no longer leaking. Taken it out for a drive, I've let it sit in here for a bit, and yeah, it's just not leaking. We can't get it to leak, which is bang on. So that means the oil leak issue is resolved, which is really good. So that means hopefully now it can go for its MOT. Now all that's left to do is take it for its MOT, see if it fails on anything, repair that, and get a fresh year's MOT on it. Spoiler alert, it fails drastically. Here's a quick look at all of the failures. There'll obviously be a video coming soon where we fix this up. But that's it for the Workshop Diaries episode 2. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button if you're new around here. And also head over to my website, www.grindinggears.uk. Grab yourself a mug or a sticker. Stickers are free, you just got to pay shipping, so it's the price of a first class stamp. But as I said, for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.